Hey everyone, my name is Alec and I'm a junior here at OSU, and this is a presentation of my e-portfolio for ESLTECH 2011. And this is just a way to organize some of my progress over the course. So as you can see, we have a few things going on here. We're on the home page right now, and on the home page I have 3 posts: note-taking, the do's and don'ts, a reflection on group assignments and what worked this time, and also 3 main takeaways from class. So I've also got an about me, just a little bit about myself, and also, finally, a program topic page about how language might affect the way we understand colors. So I feel this relates directly to both cultural and linguistic anthropology, and I've handpicked 5 sources related to this topic, but we'll quickly go into a little more depth with them later. So first, let's visit the about me. So, I am currently studying anthropology and I'm interested in culture, as you can see from my topic. So I'm from Waverly, a small town between Chillicothe and Portsmouth in southern Ohio, and I recently traveled out of the country for the first time to Uganda through OSU and then to China to teach English. So on my page I mentioned the usefulness of scholarships. So, do some research, and if you think you might not be able to travel due to some financial reasons, I'm telling you, there are definitely resources out there if you go looking for them. So there's also a picture of me throwing a snowball at my mom. So now let's head on over to the home page and go over some do's and don'ts of note-taking. Alright, so the do's and don'ts of note-taking. So my biggest thing with note-taking is transcribing, where you write everything down that the professor says. I think that this is just a waste of time, it's disorganized, and misses the main idea. So I have some tips to better take notes, and again, stay away from transcribing and work on finding your style. There's plenty of styles out there, but you want to do what's most comfortable for you. So ask a friend, a professor, go to an academic center, and experiment for yourself. I recommend outlining. So it's a structure that focuses primarily on the main idea, followed by topics of that main idea. And it's often separated by bullet points or indents. So I use this method a lot for online classes. Even in-person classes, I use it with Microsoft Word, where I can type quickly, efficiently, and utilize the tools of Microsoft Word, such as colors and highlighters. I can underline, I can use fonts to create a more organized note structure right next to my outline, or right next to my online reading or lecture. So now, as for group assignments, many in the past have come with an array of struggles. I think we all know that. And our group assignment focused on analyzing a case study of Sarah's group problems while working to use strategies to mitigate and prevent some of our own. So what worked for us and how did this end up going so well? So we communicated early and responded quickly. Communication was really important, showed that the group was willing to work and could be relied on. We also utilized an online discussion forum right on Carmen early in the project to work out our deadlines and other details. And if a problem came about, we compromised. So this all led to the success of our group and in a timely and efficient manner. And finally, I worked throughout the project setting internal deadlines for myself for my own slide. So now on to culture, language, and color perception, and how do these fit together. So I have several sources to better explain that on my page. I have a video that highlights a study where one group had separate words for different shades of green that they commonly use. They were easily able to differentiate between the shades of green, while groups that only had one kind of general encompassing color, they just called any shade of green, had a more difficult time being able to pick the one different shade of green on the color wheel. So next is a news article from MIT explaining that some languages use fewer or more words for colors, and some languages tend to divide the warm part of the color spectrum into more color words, such as red, orange, and yellow, as compared to the cooler regions, which include blue and green. Following is Through the Language Glass, a book I found on OSU's library that explores whether culture shapes language and language shape culture, with emphasis on color. Next, I have an article focusing on an anthropologic ethnographic study that explores a group that does not have color words for sensory experiences for color, and how they communicate those experiences without using color words. And finally, I have an organization, the American Psychological Association, in an article called Hues and Views, Again, focusing on how hues can be lumped together depending on the word and the language, while specific shades within a hue can be differentiated from language and specific words for those shades. So each study was handpicked, and this page provides sources to better explore questions. So below, or all throughout, are the sources that contain studies, citations, and come from accredited universities or professionals. So I attempted to choose reliable sources, and if I found a potential disadvantage, I listed the disadvantage toward the end of the source explanation. So now back to the home page, scroll down to my 3 main takeaways. So 1, if there's a problem, there may be a solution. Whether it be note-taking, procrastination, group assignments, technological issues, there may be strategies. 2, communicate. There are ways to communicate in online classes. While it may take effort, they're there, and communicating effectively can make or break a group project. And lastly, the online class format is definitely useful and valid. After learning about how to take an online course, I feel I am better equipped with strategies in different class formats, even in person. So if done correctly and managed efficiently, I believe that online class can be just as effective as an in-person course. All right, so that just about wraps up my presentation. Thank you for listening.